Ladies and gentlemen, the RTX 40's low and mid-range offerings are starting to leak online. We have release dates as well as the specifications for these cards, but also I've got some early pricing information. There's no point being excited for the card if they are quite simply too expensive relative to what's available in the used market or current generation cards like, for example, the RX 6600 or something like that. Let's start out with the 4060 Ti. From what I'm hearing, the performance target of this is going to be roughly on par with the RTX 3070, and WCCF Tech are claiming much the same thing. So I was told about 2 weeks ago that the release date is going to be May, and now WCCF Tech are claiming the same thing from info that they've received. And also Megasize GPU on Twitter, which is a very well-known leaker account. They've actually leaked a ton of stuff before. They have also said end of May for the 4060 Ti. It's outfitted with 4352 CUDA cores, 8GB of RAM, 128-bit bus, and again, just to repeat myself, roughly on par with the RTX 3070. Obviously, it's going to depend on the title. You do get things like DLSS 3 if that's something that you care about, but yeah. Pricing is going to be something that we'll talk about in a moment because that's probably going to influence your decision quite a bit. The 4060 is also in May according to WCCF Tech. However, Megasize is stating that the plans haven't been decided yet. That's kind of what I've heard. I originally heard both of them are going to be in May, and now it seems very wishy-washy what's going on with the 4060, honestly. There's not much to say about the 4060, same memory configuration. However, obviously, the number of CUDA cores sees a significant cut down to just 3072. Performance targets obviously will be considerably less. But I really want to focus for a moment on the RTX 4050, if I may, because oh boy. 96-bit bus, from what Megasize GPU is stating, and by the way, a source of mine actually wrote and told me the exact same configuration this morning. Now, from what I'm told, it also features the same mobile configuration as the RTX 4050M. So this would also mean a grand spanking total of 2,560 shading units. I'll leave that to your imagination in terms of performance targets, but yeah, the pricing though, of course, is where things get much more interesting. So one of my sources is claiming that the 4070 is $599 US, the 4060 Ti is $450 US, but you're looking at around $250 for the RTX 4050. Now, of course, that would mean that, well, you know, 4050, there are so many different cards which are available on, for example, eBay right now. I obviously am in the United Kingdom, you may have been able to tell by my accent, or if you've been watching the channel for any length of time. But I just hopped onto ebay.com and I did a very exhaustive search, i.e. I just typed in RTX 3060 Ti, and you have cards of around $350, $279 US, $240 US. Some of these are bids, of course. They do go down a little bit. On the AMD side, things are a little bit cheaper as well. Now, obviously, that still is more expensive than, let's say, the 4050's price, if I can speak. Assuming that price is actually accurate, but prices are all over the shop at the moment, so it's going to be very interesting to see what happens from AMD as well when they launch their products. Honestly, this kind of circles back to the video I made, when was it? Yesterday, I think I plopped it out. And talking a lot about, you know, the upcoming APUs from AMD and also Intel as well. Intel's future CPUs, obviously they'll have a very impressive iGPU actually. I'm hearing that it's very good. I'm trying to get a little bit more info before I say performance targets in a video, because obviously I don't want to say something which is incorrect, or at the very least I haven't been able to somewhat verify, and I don't have notes up as well, so I don't want to misspeak and say something that, you know, I wasn't even told. But I have heard that they are very decent indeed. So I think that, you know, very low-end cards are going to be pretty much just going by the wayside from both AMD and Intel's, you know, kind of vision going forward. They're obviously going to want to sell you, you know, whatever APU and that whatever performance budget, performance bracket, not budget, But obviously discrete cards are not going anywhere for the higher performance variants. I do think PC gaming are probably going to start to do away with low-end cards though, you know, like the GTX 1650s of the world. And I also want to just mention that, you know, VRAM has been going up a lot actually. And The Last of Us, for example, the PC port, it seems a little dodgy. It seems to be maxing out the 13900K or equivalent AMD Zen 4 systems, with, you know, absolutely ridiculous shader compile times thanks to maybe some issues in the software that's bundled with the title. But what really matters is that, yeah, VRAM requirements, even at 1080p, just absolutely go through the stratosphere, it seems. I haven't tested out the game yet myself, currently playing through Resident Evil 4, which actually does really well, with everything maxed out on an RTX 3080, 10GB, everything's doing absolutely brilliantly, you know, all the settings maxed at 4K, obviously on a higher end rig like a 4090 or whatever, I've also had no problem. But anyway, I think that's just about it for this particular video, guys. Just wanted to put this video out because I want to give you guys a little more context in terms of the pricing and release dates and stuff like that. Normal service shall resume over the next couple of days. I've got some big leaks, actually, that I've been working on, so hopefully you'll stick with me. Take care of yourselves. Have an amazing day. Bye for now.